All right, guys, they're messing with. Let me get the mic on. I don't even know if the mic might have been on. Anyway, guys, much love. Welcome back. We are going. I don't know what that was all about, but we tried to fire it up, and it just freaked out. But anyway, we're up and running now. Now, if everybody remembers in the 16-day forecast Sunday night, I told you that the mainstream were going to act like they didn't know where the storm was going to go. They were, just going to fake everybody out. I'm going to play this little clip for you, and then we're going to jump into all this.
Interesting, isn't it? We're going to have an update on Tropical Storm Barry likely at the top of the hour from the National Hurricane Center. But in the meantime, we want to give you a good update on what's changed between yesterday and today and what we're seeing in the model guidance and in our forecast here at the Weather Channel. And first of all, I want to start out with forecast track. And the models have been indicating more of a farther eastward shift. So that cone, what we saw yesterday compared to today, has moved a little bit, and it makes Texas look a little bit better, and it makes parts of Mississippi and Alabama look a little bit worse. Now notice as we put the spaghetti models on here, each one of these lines depicting a different computer model forecast, that we do have more of that trend heavier on the east side, but not zero for Texas. So we want to keep that.
Now they do that for a reason. They do that to draw everybody in to stay tuned, because it's coming everywhere. But it's going on the exact path that we said on Sunday. It's not changed. It's not going to change. That's the weather plan. These guys are just sock puppet lying a-holes. And check this out. Let me get back on the right scene here. So these guys are just playing mind games with the people. Instead of giving people days and days advance warning, they just get everybody drawn to the TV, to the programming. And I mean, even they said, wow, we're putting out warnings 3 days before the storm hits. They never do that. It's all lies. Check this out. This is on a weather app. Somebody sent me this. I forgot to write the name down. They took a screenshot of their phone. Listen to what it says here. Here's where it's headed and how strong. Barry will be steered westward. You get that? Steered? It's going to be steered. They're steering the storm on a northward through the northern Gulf of Mexico in the direction of Louisiana, then drawn inland this weekend into a lower Mississippi Valley through a gap between a high pressure system in the Rockies and extension of the Bermuda High over the Bahamas. Now it looks like it could make landfall late Friday into Saturday afternoon. A landfall would occur later if the center tracks along the left side of the forecast go. See, it's just all nonsense. It's all nonsense. It's going exactly where it's supposed to go, and you can actually watch the radars, and you could tell. Here, let me run this here. When you watch the radars, when they want the storm to go somewhere, they turn the radars off. See, look at this. You had a couple tornadoes up there in New Jersey or New York or wherever it was. But look, they turned all the radars down. They have all these cranked up to push the systems down. I mean, there's all kinds of madness going on with these NexRads. These are what they use to steer the atmospheric rivers. And I got a clip for that, for the people that do that. Anyway, all these lying mainstream people, instead of giving people the warning they need, they're just feeding a bunch of crap. Anyway, we've warned. Everybody knows what to do. It's going to be a major flood. Get out of there before it gets there. And I'm telling you right now, there's going to be one wicked, or actually two wicked cyclone hurricanes at the end of the month over in the Atlantic. I was looking at the models, just checking this out. Look at the pressure on this 997. Now, these aren't going to probably hit anything, but it's hard Hard to know. We'll have to keep our eyes on the bunker fuel being deployed out there. But there's going to be 2 coming up this way. But we're going to get into this here in a minute. And but yeah, we'll just get into a couple headlines here. I'm all out of whack because of the weird start there where it didn't do nothing. Anyway, all right, check this out. This is crazy. A traffic stop turns up whiskey, a gun, a rattlesnake, and uranium. What? So the cops pulled over this Stephen Jennings guy in Oklahoma. They searched his car and they found, well, his tags were expired. He alerted the officers that there were a few other issues likely to arise. There was a gun in the vehicle, for starters. His passenger, Rachel Rivera, was charged with possession of a firearm after a former felony conviction. Then police said the officers found that the car had been reported stolen and began to dig a little deeper. After their discoveries, 1 bottle of Kentucky Deluxe whiskey, a rattlesnake. So now he's got a rattlesnake, a stolen vehicle, a firearm, and somebody under arrest. They found one more thing, a canister of radioactive powdered uranium. So where the heck did he get this uranium? And remember, just not too long ago, they found the uranium in a school. And I can't remember quite where that was at. I think it was up in Minnesota or somewhere like that. So how are these people getting this stuff, man? That's pretty scary stuff there. Weird storm, or weird news there. All right, we talked about this Jim Beam plant that blew up, and all the Jim Beam, thousands of gallons of Jim Beam, is creating a giant fish kill. Well, now it's going from the Kentucky River down into the Ohio River. Let me see here. Let me get down here where it says so the runoff, the fire has contaminated the Kentucky River, which it led to a giant fish kill. I mean, the fish are just floating dead everywhere. Here's some pictures of it. And now it's getting ready to go into the Ohio River. So this is, I mean, look at all them dead fish just floating around. Kind of like they're marinated in the Jim Beam. But hey, it's all flooded, so you can't eat that crap anyway. Was taking a look at this little article here showing, you know, it's pretty funny sometimes when I say, you know, we're gonna get, like back in winter I called for 500 or 600 inches of snow in California, and everybody's giving me a hard time saying that was clickbait, and it ended up snowing like 700 inches. You know, we said there was going to be 2 feet of rain. Now they're calling for 2 foot to 3 foot of rain. I think they watched the show. Another weird explosion happened at a KFC. I mean, this thing blew up into nothing. Let's see if we can play this.
Now take a look at this, the moment, the video, the restaurant there, the fast food chain exploded. The video is pretty incredible. This is surveillance video from actually across the street where the walls just collapsed.
Let's go to Steve King. He is live at the scene of this explosion. Steve, you've been there all day. Crews have been cleaning up for about 18 hours now. Where do things stand tonight?
Well, the cleanup is on hold, Kenny. The fire marshal still has not determined.
I mean, how are they going to figure out what blew that up? That thing is disintegrated. Anyway, pretty crazy. Just more.
The cause.
Whoa, stupid mainstream popping up there. We get that closed out before it comes back on. All right, new high temperature record set in Alaska as the heat wave is set to replenish grip. So a temperature of 91 degrees was recorded on Monday, and that surpasses all the previous all-time records of 90 set on June 17th, 1926. So they just keep breaking record after record after record up here. And we know why. It's because they're deploying the bunker fuel. They put a blanket over the Arctic. And while that's going on down in Australia, the banking is down. Whenever you see something like this, it's not good. Hey, thanks out there, Patrick. Everybody out there in Super Chat. Michelle, much love out there. Thanks. And Patrick, much love out there. Yeah, so the banking system is down in Australia, man. False flag alert, heads up down there in the outback. We don't want to see this kind of stuff going on. But these are all the banking outages. They're currently looking into an issue affecting services and access to ATMs. Well, we're sorry if this impacts you. We'll keep you up to date. So this is a major deal. So we got to keep our eyes on what's going on down here. And sorry, I'm all congested, so I may have to mute out a couple times here. But I am getting better. Doing all my herbal teas and all that crap. Anyway, hey, oh yeah, I was going to show you guys something here. And I don't know if I'm going to hit the right scene or not. But we'll give it a shot here. If you're new here, this is kind of a little... Here, I'm just going to play it, then I'll jump back in because I got to blow my nose and all that crap anyway. Here we go.
Hey, did you know that weather radar can show things other than storms, like here in this example? And this is actually something you'll see pretty often in the early mornings during spring, summer, and fall. You ever check?
My question is, have you tested the rainwater? And if you haven't, have you seen the results of our rainwater tests? And also, are you aware that many of the people sitting in this room right here have very high levels of barium, aluminum, and strontium in their blood? People are getting sick and dying. And we want the ADEQ not just to give us a little speech today, but actually to maybe perhaps speak out against it if you know it's going on. And if not, I would suggest you do a lot more investigation.
The app to check the radar, and there's all this weird, just, blue stuff all over the radar. That's all rain down toward the south. But what is this? This is ground clutter. Let me explain what that means. It's basically you're seeing bugs, maybe a few birds, and some bats also. But there's a reason why this happens.
Towards the Topeka area, look at all of this. Uh-oh, that's got to be snow, right? Because it's so cold outside. No, not snow, Joe. This is actually birds taking off from the various rivers, lakes, ponds over on the Kansas side, and they show up, believe it or not, on Doppler radar.
What you're seeing there in the middle of the eye here, this is the eye of the storm where it's pretty quiet, so you wouldn't expect there's going to be any rain there. This is actually birds.
So I'd like a comment on, one, the rainwater, what's in it, and two, what's in our blood. And if it's not coming from geoengineering, is it your responsibility to investigate that and tell us where it is coming from? Thank you.
Yeah, birds actually showed up in the middle of this hurricane, as they often do. We saw this with Hurricane Arthur a couple years ago. This is a product that shows you how similarly shaped everything is, where you see the red colors, you got a lot of similar things flying around like rain. All this blue stuff here is, a mixture of birds, maybe some feathers flying around. This product shows you what shape things are, okay? And basically when you see these kind of higher colors here, like the purples and the whites, that's when things are more hamburger shaped rather than, vertically shaped. So think about how birds fly. Right? So they're they would appear more hamburger shaped to the radar. That's why they're showing up like that in there. Very, very interesting stuff.
When we have these earthquakes is the birds. We can see this. So what I want to do here, I'm showing you radar here for the last couple of hours. See how it's quiet? This was before the earthquake. Watch behind me as all of a sudden you start to see all of that. What that actually is the birds taking flight.
We're coastal and we're in one of these bands. This is about as nasty as it's been. We had some bands like this last night. Well, this morning we were not on TV. It was the dark hit.
Problem. And two, what's in our blood. And if it's not coming from geoengineering, is it your responsibility to investigate that and tell us where it is coming from? Thank you. Does the ADEQ have the ability to take a position on this and investigate it further and find out where these toxic metals are coming from that are in our rainwater and in our blood? Thank you.
My name is Michelle Arnett, and I'm from Bullhead City. And I'm one of the several who have had my blood tested because I was getting sick and I didn't know why. And I did go to my doctor, and he had some question on how to order these specific tests for heavy metals. And when the results came back and they were really out of line, he said he had never seen anything like it in his life, and he didn't have a clue what to do about it.
Generally in the warmer months, and generally very early in the morning before the sun comes up. Okay, so when skies are clear, the temperatures at the surface will get pretty cool. When you have a cool layer of air down at the surface and warm air just above that, we call that an inversion, and it tends to affect how the radar beam moves. Now, normally a radar beam shoots at a little bit of an upward angle. So the farther away you get from the radar site, you're seeing data from higher and higher up in the air. In this case, with the inversion in place, very early on in the mornings, you tend to see that radar beam kind of shoot back a little bit toward the Earth. It can affect the way that the beam refracts, and that's where all the birds and the bugs and all that stuff are. They don't go above that layer. So that's why you see that, because once the sun comes up, then all of a sudden, you know, the radar beam goes back to where it belongs, above that layer.
Doesn't it bug you when rain pops up on an otherwise beautiful day? The sky is blue and suddenly this starts showing up on radar. So here you are in Southern California and you think, maybe I better head inside. Well, not so fast. I don't mean to cloud your thinking, but despite this radar echo, it wasn't raining. In fact, there weren't even any clouds around to produce rain. And this was a puzzle that was really bugging some local meteorologists. If there's nothing dark, dreary, or even wet outside, how do we explain this large green blob? Well, the answer is actually quite lovely. If you're scratching your head a bit, let me explain. A weather observer discovered what was actually causing this radar return: a swarm of ladybugs. And a group of
or with the environment. We're not damaging it. We're not using chemicals fired through rockets like other technologies use. We use a very gentle but powerful technology, launching electromagnetics into the atmosphere to modify the flow of the weather system over the ocean.
Because I'm also an expert in climate change. And the only way we can confront climate change is not, you know, we are talking about reducing emissions, but politically it's not going anywhere. And we need urgent action in the coming decade, because after that it's too late.
Residents in southern Tasmania are demanding to know why cloud seeding was conducted over the Derwent River catchment the day before the worst floods in 40 years. Cloud seeding is a technique used to increase rain. Hydro Tasmania has confirmed it flew a cloud seeding flight despite the weather warnings.
Weather generator is based on principles of air ionization. A complex of weather generator stations are positioned accordingly to draw in sufficient moisture to enhance cloud formation for precipitation of rain. Each weather generator station is designed to draw in atmospheric moisture from a 5-kilometer radius. Negative charged ions emitted from the generator ionizes the air over the generator. Unlike natural cloud condensation nuclei, ionized particles intensely attract up to 10 times more moisture vapor from horizontal air mass to enhance condensation and saturation.
All right, guys, so there you go. They tell you everything but what they really are. They're all liars. All them people from the Weather Channel, the Weather Underground, they just make stuff up as they go. That's why they're coming up with all these different terms and names and all kinds of stuff. We see them water generators all the time on these maps, and that's what they are. They're cleaning the power plants out. I can see beams shooting out down here big time. But yeah, I just wanted to play that clip. I play that once in a while. I got that full Arizona town hall meeting over on the Above Ground World News page. I think I have that streamed over on D Live. I'll see if I can upload it here in a couple days, the full deal on this thing. Anyway, guys, let me see here. Let's go ahead and take a look if they got tracks on this yet. And give me a sec. Yeah, I'm pretty stopped up right now. Trying to get this to load. Yeah, on mine it's showing 696 people are watching. Yeah, it's all messed up, man. They got this thing all freaked out. Anyway, let me see if I can bring this into the page here. Copy. We paste it in here. And see if I can show you guys what I'm looking at. Alright, so here's our track. And it's the exact track that we showed actually 2 weeks ago. We didn't know it was going to be that big a rain producer, but we told you that there was going to be a weather change 2 weeks ago. We told you there was going to be a big shift in the moisture. It was going to hit the south and it was going to hit the east, and that's exactly where we've been the last couple of weeks. I mean, it's going to be flooding everywhere. Let's take a look, see if we can see the mimic on this to see what it's looking like, see if they're affecting it, see if it's spinning. Now this is part of the atmospheric river being pulled into this, and they use the NEXRADs and the chemtrails to steer these systems. So that thing's definitely got a little bit of spin. Alright, just want to get this documented. Alright, so I got that documented. Let me go back here. And I want to take a look at the let's go ahead and document this, see if I can animate these. But yeah, man, these lying mainstream weather people, the mainstream news, are all liars, man. They're all, they all fake the right and left paradigm. I mean, they're all ran by the same 6 corporations. There is no, the mainstream news is all just, it's programming. That's why they call it programming, to program your mind to think a certain way. And like these weather channels, they got all these different spaghetti noodle things going every which way. That way they can get that amount of people to tune in to their BS. Has nothing to do with actually warning and giving people out the real warnings and preparing them. That they could have prepared people weeks in advance that, hey, we got a big time storm coming in that we're going to conjure up. You might want to batten your stuff down here in the next week or two, but no, they don't even give you a warning till the day of. So I'm going to keep on hammering on these guys because they don't deserve the viewership they get, man. And then you got to pay to watch them. They should be paying us. Anyway, I'm just trying to document some of these so we can, if we catch any kind of weird stuff, I've got it documented. I mean, the way these storms exploded the other day, that was like a blast wave. Every bit of moisture is being pulled down into the system. It's running backwards. There's all kinds of strange stuff going on right here. Looks like they're shooting out some sounding rockets. You've got 2 planes flying in this storm right now, 2 of the Hurricane Hunter planes. No telling what they're dropping in this thing. And yeah, just trying to get these documented, guys, so bear with me here. You know, you'd be surprised what I've documented and had to go back and dig out, because they delete stuff all the time. Alright, I got that all documented pretty good. We're done with that. So we got a couple more invests. This one ain't gonna do a whole lot, but there's too much Sahara dust out here. This thing, if it does come out, it'll be a while. Yeah, we're gonna have 2 cyclones, and one's gonna be really strong here at the end of the month coming out of this area. I don't think it's gonna hit anything, but like I said, we won't know until we watch the weather engineering programs, if they make a change in the wind patterns. In fact, we can go take a look at it right now. So here we are. Let me zoom in on this so you guys can see it a little better, and square the screen up a little bit. Alright, so here we are. We got a pressure right, the pressure right now is at a 1002, which is staying pretty steady, dropping down to 995. I mean, this thing is right on target. This is the same target that we had Sunday, the same target for the rain 2 weeks ago. And it's still, you're just gonna, the only difference I see is it's kind of going a little bit farther north, but it's still gonna flood the whole east out. I mean, it's gonna flood everybody. And then I wanted to fast forward this. I want you to watch this storm down here in the southern part there at the pressure. I mean, 969, 967, that 963. That is going to be one, that's going to be like a category 5 cyclone down there. Now, depending on where it goes, you know, it doesn't look like it starts raising pressure again. And then there's going to be one right behind it. But we'll be watching that. We'll check that on the Sunday. By Sunday, we should be able to get a lot better bead on that thing. But yeah, that's a crazy low pressure out there. Let's go ahead and check the Canadian model on this moisture right here. Or let's go ahead and check the total precipitable amount of rain that we're going to be getting. So this is going to be in inches here. So we're just going to go up 6 hours at a time here so you can see where the moisture is going to hit. See why it's flooding down here in the yellows. Look up here in the northeast. It's getting in the pinks. So you're getting, you know, 6 inches of rain in 6 hours. So it's going to be raining pretty much almost everywhere from South Carolina east and then south. So look at this, man. They're targeting the Mississippi River. And it's right where we thought it was going to be, man. Right there in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. It's right on target, guys. I mean, look at this moisture grow. And it's showing above 24 inches now. So, that's a lot of rain in the next 16 days. You know, they already had 8 inches of rain before the storm even fired off. It popped off that much rain. There's where that Cat 5 is going to be down there. But look, they're keeping the moisture away from California. They're setting it up for fire season. That's the other thing we got to start watching. And when we jump over to the worldview map, I was just down here looking at some of the cloud seeding operations going on right below the storm. See, they use these cloud seeding operations to pull the storm. There's actually some over here that are not coming up very good because of the reflection of the sun on here, even when I click the layers. And then we got this weird something happened right here. I don't know if they're trying to censor something out. This don't happen very often when you get these messed up images. It usually means they're trying to hide something. We'll know by tomorrow if they take that out. If they take that out, that means they were hiding something. They needed more time to edit it out. Definitely got cloud seeding operations over here off the coast of Florida. And you'll see once the storm starts heading north, they'll start spraying out ahead of the storm in the area they want it to go. They're cloud seeding all over up here in the northeast. And then you got the smoke. You also have the fire smoke, but you got tons of cloud seeding operations out here loading the storms up. Right here over Missouri, same thing. Well, I'm on yesterday's. Let's put it on today's. That would help. So here I was looking back for a couple days there. So now I gotta let this load up a little bit. But it's starting to take pretty good form, man. This is a weird shaped storm. It is in no way natural. It was pulled down here, and we have segmented spraying. Segmented spraying is a short little burst of the aerosols, and that usually means rain, heavy rain, every time. So when you get these segmented spraying going on above your skies, not the real long aerosols, but the little short bursts, kind of like they're doing here. These are little segment sprays. They're setting it up to rain really hard, man. I've watched this for so long. I can tell by what kind of sprays they're using, what kind of rain system it's going to be. And the map's not even loaded all the way. It should be already loaded. That's ridiculous. Now, to me, this is just mind-blowing. Oh, you got a ship tracks down here. Wow. Wow, you got a weird color right there, too. But what blows my mind is how the radars keep the clouds away. Like, all the clouds are just sitting here, and it's like they won't let them come into the land. They don't want the land to be cooled down during the day. So I mean, you can go through all the layers. They stop the clouds right at the bay, and that's crazy that we're getting ship tracks down here. Let me check something here. Very rarely do you see the ship tracks way down here. So there's going to be another pattern change. That's what they're doing. Maybe it's for that, they could be practicing for that next hurricane. So, wow, we have aerosols being deployed down here. And then we also have ship tracks way down here. And I've never seen them this far south. They're right off the, wow. That is something to keep our eyes on. So they're right off the Bajas. Now there's no way them ships are fast enough to go all the way from the Arctic all the way down there. So who are these guys out here? But I'm not seeing the other ones here. Let me back this out and let it load a little bit. All right, so it's not gonna let me oh, there's some ship tracks back out here. There's still a few right here under the Bering Islands, the Bering Sea. You can see the X there. So there's a few there. I don't know why this thing isn't loading all the way. You have aerosols being deployed up here where the fires are going up in Alaska. So they're still spraying accelerants on Alaska. Look, they're spraying all the way up in here in the Arctic. You have aerosols being deployed up here in the Arctic. Wow. Actually, quite a few. So it's finally starting to load. So the main operation's way out here right at the time zone line. All right, so I'm going to have to really pay attention to this real, this is way down south, man. This is way south. So that's pretty crazy. We have a shipping operation this far south. So we'll definitely be watching that. Yeah, exactly right there, Joe. That's what they are. All right, let's go ahead and check and see if there was any what kind of weather stuff's going on. We got flash flood for, what is that, Gray, Michigan? We did have a tornado warning in New Jersey. Or was that New York? Let me look. What was that one? Yeah, New Jersey had a tornado warning. They got all kinds of damage up there. I mean, the storms are really wicked right now. Let's go ahead and see what this is doing here. So here we are, the Louisiana radar. You notice how the rain like emanated. Look at that. Holy crap. So we just seen the radar create its own outflow. Now watch this thing as it loops through. The rain starts right there, and then look, this thing's gonna blow off. And then you also have inflow. You have inflow and outflow coming out of the radar. They're creating a vortex with this radar. Let me check the base velocity. All right, so look at that. Yeah, we're getting microwave pulses off this radar, and we can also see the flows. Or that storm is not centered over this radar. This radar is creating the spin. I mean, when you watch the wind patterns, you can see them curling around, being sucked in. Look at this one down here. It's like trying to be, the lower levels being pulled towards and the uppers being pulled out. Whoa. So we got crazy stuff going on with this radar, and a beam being shot out here. I should be able to show you the microwave pulse coming out of this thing. Wow. All right, so the purple is the electromagnetic frequencies. These are the microwaves, just like the 5G millimeter waves. That's what this purple represents. You notice there is no purple on this color scheme here. This is the radar maxing out, and it is starting out around 60 nautical miles, and who knows how far out they are blasting this frequencies out, but you can see the radar is creating a vortex of wind around it, just by the way the wind patterns are just flipping around, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So yeah, that's like really undeniable there, man. They're really buzzing that thing out. So sometimes you got to zoom in on here to see the criminals at work. Yeah, that thing is really freaking out. Hey, thanks there, Doug. Much love. Yeah, I know it sucks, man. I can't never report on anything good. It's either on the mainstream lies or them ruining the planet. That's like all the news that I can report on. There's nothing good ever coming out. But if we get enough people, hopefully we can make a change. Hopefully we can change that. We need to change the scale. So I'm just kind of going through some of this stuff. This hitting the upgraded radar. The upgraded radars, I can check the different tilts. And these are not, this isn't one of the newer ones. While I'm waiting on that, I want to see where is that one beaming out. I mean, watch this. Look at this radar's turned off and on. Like there was no rain here. So watch this radar right here in Texas as this thing loops through. So the rain was coming in, they cranked the radar up and it killed the rain off. Then they start beaming the radar. Oh, we got too hot. They had to turn it off. Oh, let's turn it back on. Let's turn it off. And then some more rain, little bitty rain pops up when they turn it off. See, they're controlling this moisture with the NexRads. That's what the companies that do the electromagnetics, how they steer the atmospheric river, they use ground-based radars. You heard it in that clip I played. All they need is a NexRad, and they can steer the atmospheric river. They can target the high pressure systems. They can break a little chunk of it off and turn it into a low pressure system. We can sit here and watch. They have all the radars turned off where they want the moisture to go. Look at this thing buzzing out, and you can tell, like, when the moisture goes by and they crank the radar up, that means they want to push it off a little faster, and you'll see the storms take off. It's because they're pushing them off. We got radars being turned off and on all over the place. We know these are not birds. We know they're not the bugs. We know companies use them for electromagnetic weather, high-tech weather rain making. Anyway, guys, I'm going to keep this show really short because I know my voice is going to give out on me. So anyway, guys, much love. We'll be back here tomorrow night. Hopefully I'll be doing a little better tomorrow. Anyway, guys, much love. If you're in the path of these storms, man, you know what to do. Don't wait till they get there, because the roads are going to be instantly flooded here in the Midwest. We've been getting these rain bombs every single storm. And it's not funny, man. When they start coming in, the roads instantly turn into rivers. Like, they're cloud seeding the crap out of that there in Kansas. Anyway, guys, much love out there. We're going to have to rise soon, so get prepared, armor up, lock and load. Anyway, guys, here we go. If you don't like heavy rock and roll, turn it down. If you like it, crank it up. I'm going to play a few songs. Come join you in chat. I'm going to jump over on D Live for a minute and give away the treasure chest and all that stuff. So here we go, guys. Much love. We'll see you tomorrow night. Be safe. God bless. Here we go, baby.